So that's for you.
See, we can let's not get into because we can get into the conversation.
No, it's a yes or no question.
Yeah,
do I believe?
Yeah, that we are Israelites.
That we are Israelites.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Let's say at a time in life, as we was evolving, we were that. You know what I'm saying? We are now what we are now, looking back at that. You know what I'm saying? So we don't want to get into the conversation to go and say if I believe in it. I must have had an ancestor, and my ancestors must have come from somewhere. That is the realities of life. Whatever names we choose to go and pose that, we can call that whatever we want to call that, unless we find their original names. So we just go by ancestors.
So that's another generalization again, Ray.
So the answer to that is absolutely no. He do not believe we are Israelites. That's
what he's hearing, yeah.
And see, that's my point. See, in order for us to come together, we got to stop playing around, man, and stop dancing around.
So you sense this earlier.
Listen.
But you see, you did that. That there, because we were talking our point.
No, why did? Hold on, brother Akar, before you go on, let me come in, man, because I don't want to come in from before. What I did just then, right, Ray?
Just call him out.
That's what I did. I had to do that because we're going on in circles, and I think the listeners hearing it out there, and I think Brother Akar, I don't know if Brother Akar can hear it, but I'm hearing we're going on in circles. We're trying to argue a point right now that sometimes, I'll be honest with you, I don't understand what is it that you're asking.
I didn't get why it kept going round.
Right. You know?
I didn't even understand why it was going round.
Exactly. I don't understand. So this is why I have to let's end it. Let's lick it in the bud right now and say, all right, then where is the standpoint? Because if not, right, we're gonna forever have an argument or going round. You understand?
Let me make my ending point then. Yeah. My point was is what I agreed on. Is what we was agreeing on.
Yeah.
Yes, and we was trying to find where we found a point of oneness. Yeah. We was then moving on to a point that we did agree on. You know what I'm saying? And we said, and the brother said, let's agree on this point. Yeah. And I said, before we agreed on point, let's acknowledge the point we are going to agree on first. Yeah. And we've already moved on. So I didn't move off my point. None at all.
Yeah,
but, you know what I'm saying? And if because I tell you this, Gadra, and the masters who are listening, you know what I'm saying? We are all reasoning on points. And I always said, it is recorded. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We can analyze it piece by piece just to go make sure it's right and exact.
But hold on, in saying that though, right? And we don't want to go back around again, no, in saying that, Brother Akar said, all right, listen, forget that. Forget the four of us in the studio. Yeah? Let's go back to where we fell as a people. Can we come to that understanding? No, that is the fundamental question right now. Can you, because I have said this before, and if you hear me talk on the show when I've said that, you know, there's something fundamentally wrong with us.
Exactly.
From the core, there's something something deep down. There's something ain't right. You understand? I see that, I feel it, and I vibe. No, I also believe before Brother Akar come in and with the children of Jacob, when we even hear a song with it that Africa must wake up, children of Jacob, Damian Marley saying that we have to wake up. You understand? We have to eyes have to start opening up. When Brother Akar said, can we all go down to the point where we agree that we fell as a people? No, that is a good standing point. Can we all accept that we're slaves? Can we in the studio
enslaved?
Yeah, not enslaved. That we're slaves. You get me? We are slaves, and we've been enslaved, and we've been in slavery. Can we accept that point? Can we, and start from there? But to go around now and try to bring something into a philosophy point now, where this is what I was doing when I first started talking to Brother Akar, and he said to me, "Oh, listen, don't go into philosophy, because it's my opinion, it's my the way I see it. Yeah, go into something that we can come from, that we can all have a basis from. No, I don't do religion, and I don't do that. I study it all the time. And then I said to Brother Akar, take this conversation out of a religious aspect, take us out of religion, take us out of doing religion, because I'm tired of hearing religion. I'm tired of hearing people coming on a religious point. Let's go into factual, actual history, and that is where we're at right now. That is where I believe right now that the conversation, but we can't progress from it until all four of us in here are, come to that understanding. This is why we keep going back in circles, because the conversation that we're having now is something that we had about an hour ago. Okay. You understand me?
Can I say something?
Yeah, go on, say it.
The reason we going in circles, and this is, we're going to have to be up front as people, man. The reason we go, and all due respect to the brother, I'm glad he came, but brothers, people are not afraid. People are afraid to say what they represent. You understand? Like, you don't have to question what we represent. And I'm going to show you something real quick. If you're going to talk, all I'm talking about since I've been here on the show is ancestors. He started going into ancestors without actually denoting or identifying what ancestors he's talking about.
True.
And see, this is the confusion that we deal with as a people. And I call it out and I put it on Front Street every time, because you cannot hide. If you're telling the truth, then your points are made with total clarity, and it goes through. And I can say this, if the listeners out there listening, and all due respect to the brother, if you were to ask your listeners, what did they get from what that brother was saying all day, and they would tell you absolutely nothing, because he's afraid to talk about what he really believed and what he read to get him to his present ideas. He's afraid to talk about it. If you want to talk about ancestors, that's all I was saying all day. Our ancestors are the children of Israel. Now, if he think our ancestors is someone else, he should tell the people that, so that we can know whether or not he can be in our conversation of uplifting our people. Because I don't know what ancestors he's talking about. He haven't mentioned them. So I'm going to ask the brother, so that we can come on one accord, because when you ask him, Gaja, do he believe that we are Israelites? He said, well, I believe we were Israelites, but it's time for us, but we've evolved. And then he go back to the ancestors. Those are three separate answers. If you're going to the ancestors, that's the past. What have they evolved to? So we don't deal with no confusion here. What I'm trying to figure out is, who are these ancestors he say we are from?
That's over to me now, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? And now, remember, I said always keep things on a clear point. And in keeping this conversation on a clear point, I want to make it clear to you who my ancestors are. You know what I'm saying? Our ancestors come way through life and through life and through life. This is not no what's the word? Philosophical thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a reality thing. We are now connected to our parents through our genes. And it goes on and goes on and goes on, and there's a legacy left. And if we find that legacy, and we wake up to that legacy, it's a legacy left for us. It's not nobody's philosophy. It is our philosophy.
Brother, who are these ancestors?
Ancestors.
What are their names?
No, you see, names. You know what I'm saying? If I was to go through an interpretation and say that the names are Hebrew, Israelites, and I was to go and turn around and say that was the way it was.
No, I'm asking you, who are they? They was people living on earth. So who are they?
According to who?
According to you, brother. You the one talking about these ancestors.
This is what I'm saying.
This
is what I'm saying. According to me. You know what I'm saying? They're by way of my mother and my father, on unto their mothers and fathers, and unto their mothers and fathers, and all the way unto the Most High.
Okay, well, listen, brother, listen.
Hold on, Brother Akar. Let's stay in the lanes. Let him finish what he was saying, please.
You know what I'm saying? So let's just go and say, and whatever names they were, let's acknowledge them for them living on this planet, all the way up onto their ancestors.
So, Ray, are you saying that you don't necessarily know a name, or you don't choose to give a name?
Don't choose to give a name, because then you have to go and find out where the name came from.
I know, but he's only asking you to be clear. He's only asking you to be clear.
Excuse me.
Okay, let's put it, come on, let's stop playing around, man. Let's stop dancing around. He know exactly, let me tell you, he have an ideology that he's studied, and he know exactly what he's dealing with and what he believes in. He just don't want to say it. Because if he say it, then it would disagree with the platform. That's the point. And see, that's the compromising we can't have in trying to build a nation. You got to bring forth what's in your mind. People got to know what's in your head, brother.
Is his point valid, Ray?
Yeah, well, to a good degree. Of course, he has to go and know what's inside of my head. Yeah, and that is clear. And
no, but no one, brother, you've been speaking for the last hour, and every point, I have no idea what you are about.
And